Hey guys, today we will see an interesting game between Mikhail Tal and Fredrik Olafsson. It is a fascinating game full of tactical blows and counter blows. Now, being a Mikhail Tal game, it is quite expected. What is unexpected is that Tal is at the receiving end of these tactical fireworks. His opponent, Fredrik Olafsson, managed to equalize quite early in the opening and then unleashed some brilliant moves to defeat Tal in just 25 moves. What makes this game even more remarkable is that Olafsson was playing with black pieces and he chose the Perk defense, which is quite a laid back opening. Now, let me tell you something about Fredrik Olafsson. He was the first person from Iceland to become a chess grandmaster. At present, he is more than 86 years old. Now, as far as the history of chess tournaments is concerned, this guy deserves a chapter in his name. He has rubbed shoulders with Tartakova and Botvinnik right up to David Navarra. He is quite a multi-talented and versatile personality. Before becoming a full-time chess player, he was a lawyer. Then he went on to become president of World Chess Federation known as FIDE. Eventually, he retired as secretary in the Icelandic parliament. Well, talking about the game, Tal starts with e4. Olafsson replies with d6. The first surprise of the game. Olafsson mostly played Sicilian defense against e4, and on other occasions he would choose e5 against e4. So this move is a very rare occasion. d4, g6, bishop c4. Nothing special so far. Knight f6. The first attack on white's center. Now, the Perk defense is based on hypermodern chess principles and it advocates attack on white center from a distance. Black will use his pieces and pawns to attack the white center. First, he will allow white to build up a strong center and then that center will be used as a target. White replies with queen e2 to protect the e4 pawn. But now the d4 pawn, the other central pawn, loses protection. So black uses his queen's knight to attack the d4 pawn. White protects it with nf3. Bishop g4. Black pins the knight and once again the d4 pawn is threatened. c3. White protects it. e5. Black renews the attack on the d4 pawn. Bishop b5. White pins the knight to protect the central pawn d4. Now at this stage, the computer suggests that d5 is a better option. But ne7. Now the nature of the game changes. Perhaps it was not to the liking of Mikhail Tal, but computer thinks that this is a better option than bishop b5. However, one should keep in mind that it is quite a closed position and the computer is not good at evaluating such closed positions. Therefore, we have to take this evaluation with a pinch of salt. Well, in any case, Tal chose bishop b5. Black replied with e d4, c d4, knight d7. Once again the d4 pawn is threatened because now black has unpinned his knight. So white protects it with bishop e4, bishop g7. Another attack on d4 pawn, and now white must decide what to do. He has a difficult choice now because on one hand he can play bishop c6, but this means he has to give his bishop against a knight, not a very pleasant choice. And otherwise he can play something like say queen d2, but then bishop f3, gf3, and the king side pawn structure does not look very good. So Tal went with bishop c6, pawn takes bishop, knight b d2, black castles, quite a natural move, rc1, white attacks the c6 pawn, but the pawn advances boldly, dc5, bishop b2, rook c2, bishop g7, castles, rook e8. Black continues his strategy of attacking the white center. Richard Reti must have smiled from the heavens. Rook d1. Now this move is slightly inaccurate. Why? The reason becomes clear with black's next move. Knight c5. Black already has a bishop against knight, and now with this move he forces white to give up the second bishop for knight. Therefore, it was better for white to play pawn takes pawn, and then this rook f d1. Well, in any case, white played rook d1 first, and now this gives black an option to play knight takes pawn, which of course he did. Bishop takes knight, dc5, rook c5, queen d6. Now this is a move which I really love, a multi-purpose move. On one hand, black is attacking white rook, and he is also preparing to increase the pressure along the d file by preparing to play rook d8. Well, now white plays rook dc1. Now so far the game has been quite balanced, but this is the first major mistake made by white in the game. Now at first this looks quite a natural and good move. The reason is that white is protecting his c5 rook, then he is doubling his rook, and further these two rooks will exert a good deal of pressure on the c7 pawn. So what could be wrong with this move? Actually, now the two black bishops become very active because black will play bishop h6. And with this move, black has gained a definite advantage. He is firmly in the driving seat now. Now both the white knights are pinned. One knight is pinned against the queen and second knight is pinned against the rook. Now white replies with rook takes pawn. Like they say that misfortune never comes alone. Now this is a bigger mistake, an even bigger mistake, and now white is really lost. From a bad position, he has landed in a completely lost position. We will see how Olafsson brilliantly exploits the unfortunate positioning of white's pieces. Rook d8. First of all, he simply increases the pressure on the knight. White plays rook c2, unpinning the knight. Now, this move has come too late. It is difficult for white to escape now. Black continues with bishop takes knight. Now, there is only one possible move, and it is queen takes bishop. Rook takes bishop is of course not possible, because then the other rook on c7 is hanging. And now, dear viewers, I request you to pause the video and try to find the master stroke played by Olafsson. I will give you a few quiet moments. Well, in case you found Queen f4, you deserve an applause and a pat on your back. If you didn't find this move, no need to worry. If Mikhail Tal can miss a move, then anybody can. With this master stroke, Black attacks the white queen with his rook. And now white has to think how to save his queen. Of course, he cannot play queen takes queen, because then rook d1, knight e1, rook e1 is an elementary back rank mate. So of course, queen takes queen is not possible. However, Tal manages to find the trickiest defense in this difficult position, and he plays rook e7. Now, the computer is not very fond of this move, but I really love this move to death. The reason is that now black has only one move with which he can retain a winning advantage. Any other move and white will be able to equalize easily. And that only move is the cold-blooded rook f8. Except for this move, any other move will allow white to escape easily. For example, let us say if black captures the queen, rook takes queen, then rook takes rook check, king g7, knight takes rook. And although black has some slight advantage because of uncoordinated pieces of white and more activity of black queen, still the advantage is very minor, not sufficient to convert into a victory, at least not against Mikhail Tal. Well, in any case, black manages to find this nice move, rook f8. And now this move renews the attack on white queen. So now white has to decide what to do with the queen. Tal plays queen a5. Now, it is not the only move in the position, but actually his position is dead lost, and even if he plays something else, he is not going to escape. Say for example, if he goes for something like queen e2, black can play bishop takes knight. Now, if white captures with queen, queen takes bishop, then queen d6 is a remarkable double attack. White has to save this rook on e7, and suppose he plays something like rook takes pawn. Then queen d1, rook d1. It is a simple back rank mate. So this means that queen takes queen is not possible. So suppose he tries gf3, then queen g5 check. Once again a double attack. If white moves the king, say for example king f1, then queen takes rook. Black is simply a rook up and white can resign. So let us continue with this move. Queen a5. Black plays rook d1, knight e1. And now guys, another moment to pause the video for a while and think about the move that forced an immediate resignation. Well, the move is Queen g5. What a brilliant move. Now, this move attacks white queen as well as the rook. Of course, white cannot capture queen takes queen because rook e1 is mate. So, he has to decide what to do with the queen. And further, he has to protect the knight on e1 as well. So, suppose he plays something like queen b4, then queen takes rook, queen takes queen, rook takes knight. Again, the back rank mate. So, after queen g5, Mikhail Tal resigned. Now, another thing guys, that it was also possible to play this move queen g5 one move earlier. So, when black played rook d1 and even at this stage, it was possible for black to play queen g5. It is a more spectacular move than rook d1 but not more effective. Rook d1 is equally good. Now here, if white plays knight takes queen, then rook d1, queen e1, rook e1 is a clear checkmate. And if queen takes queen, then again rook d1, knight e1, rook takes knight is checkmate. So this means that queen g5 was also possible one move early. Well, in any case, quite a beautiful game, and I assume that Olafsson saw queen g5 at that stage as well, but he decided to play a couple of moves later after playing rd1 because he thought that it would be even more deadlier. So I hope guys that you enjoyed the game, and if you want me to analyze a specific game, then do drop your suggestions in the comment box. I will soon return with another brilliant and beautiful game. Till then, goodbye and good